Hey everybody, this is Jeff Conti, your YouTube knife mentor. I lost the beginning footage, the introduction for grinding this knife, so this is the knife already ground, but this video is going to be about the actual grinding, or how I go about grinding it. Also, let me bring you up to speed. The knife is ground on both sides. The handle has been skeletonized, the pinholes are drilled, the handle has been tapered. A real nice thin taper, the way I like it. So we're pretty much ready. This video is not going to address the flat sanding yet. That's going to be the next video. And also I wanted to let you know that I've named the knife. I think the name is going to be Vita Deserto, which in Latin means wilderness life. So maybe in the comments let me know what you think. All right, without further ado, here we go. So you can see as I throttled on, I brought this grind line back, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's where it stopped grinding on this edge. So I did not go any further towards my center line. And I'm about ready, I think, maybe a little further. Plus I need to straighten this out some. So I don't know if you can see here, but I got a pretty nice straight line. It's not perfect yet, but this is a rough grind, and I haven't violated my center line, so that's good. So I think we're done rough grinding on this side. I thought about not showing you guys my awful technique on grinding left-handed. I am right-handed. Look at that though, it looks pretty good. I was just gonna grind it on my own and not bother with videoing it, but you know what? You might as well see what a crappy job I do left-handed, and I've been doing it for over 40 years. So the only thing I could show you, by the way, let me just do that first, is you could use a support like so. And it really does take a little bit. You saw when I was doing this, it was kind of jumping around. Well, that'll stop all your jumping around, right? It'll prevent all that. But I'm not going to do that. I figure I'll show you this bit. You could tell when I come up to it, I'm actually trying to find the existing bevel. So if I'm here, I'm not on it. If I'm here, I'm not on it. But I can actually come up to it and rock it a little bit, and I can feel when I'm on it. So. Now remember we put the center line down here? This is where you can see how close we are to the center of our line on both sides. And I'm really getting close. Here's my thumbnail. I can come across and see I'm right on right there. So I'm not going to do any more grinding up here except to bring this down. So like I told you, I'm going to throttle off a little bit, and that'll push my grinding toward the edge and away from the grind line. So. Now hopefully you can see, but there's grinding here and I didn't do any grinding up here. So you should be able to see that right there. So you can see that my edge is nice and straight. I didn't violate my center lines. I came back approximately the same distance. I think this is a little shy now. I think this one's a little bit deeper. So I'll fool around with this a little bit off camera just to kind of get a better, just to kind of tune it up a little. I might also bring this back a little bit further. Well, I have to, because as you can see, this one is here and that one is past it. So I do have to bring that back a little, which is fine. I'll still have a pretty strong tip. We'll see. Okay. Well, it took me less than about 20 minutes, probably closer to 15 or 16 minutes to grind both sides of the knife. I think I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out so far. Like I said, it's a rough grind. So next I'm going to flat grind both of these surfaces so that they're not rough anymore. I've seen some guys leave them rough and some of them actually add grinding marks in there. That's not for me. It's not my style. So this is 36 grit, by the way. I didn't tell you that earlier. You might want to use 60 grit when you're first starting. Even if you use a worn 60 grit, it might help you a little bit. If you're making mistakes, it's easier to make them slow and catch them than it is to make them fast and not catch them. So anyway, I use a 36 grit belt for most of my blade grinding because I'm really trying to, get the blade ground and get onto it. But I will take this down next to the 120 and then to the 220, and then the rest of it will be done by hand. And that same thing goes with the flat sand. And you'll notice that my taper comes forward of where my hand guard is supposed to be. When I go to sand this all flat, it will move this back right behind there. So that's how I do it. So for right now, this is Jeff Conti, your YouTube knife maker. I want you to go out, have fun making a knife. See you guys.